Hi, my name's Barry Crampton. Today I'm going to show you around our Ford Fiesta, then I'll take you for a drive in it, but first I'll tell you a little bit more about it. It's a 1.4 TDCi DPF Zetec 5-door. 2012 on a 62 plate, has done 94,597 miles, was last serviced at 94,438 miles. It has a full Ford service history. Very economical little car too. Fuel consumption, urban is 58.9, extra urban 78.5, combined is 68.9. 0 to 60 time of 14.8 seconds, which isn't too bad. Top speed of 101 miles per hour out of a 69 brake horsepower 8 valve engine. Road tax is only £20 per year. Now it's quite a rare little car. It's 2012. That's not what makes it rare. It's got a full Ford service history, and the last service was at Ford only a couple of hundred miles ago. Again, it doesn't make it any better for being serviced at a Ford garage. However, what it does show is that the person who's had it has spared no expense. They could have got it serviced cheaper at an independent garage and probably just as good, but they've taken it to the Ford garage. So this is one of those cars that you can kind of throw the book away. We're asking 3,495 for it, and Auto Trader's suggested retail price is 3,667. So we're underneath that. We should actually be over it. We've also just put a new clutch in it. The clutch was a bit iffy. Probably would have gone unnoticed for a good few thousand miles, but we put a new clutch in it anyway because it basically deserves it. There's a couple of little marks on it. If you wanted the marks doing, then we could get them done, but we'd have to put the price up. But we've kept it at 3,500. Be an ideal second car for somebody, as I say, very, very economical. I'll just show you around it, and I'll show you the kind of imperfections. So, finished in brilliant silver. We've got the chrome pack on here around the fog lights and the grille. We've got snowflake alloys, not snowflake as it's referred to these days, snowflake pattern. The chrome separator between the panels and the windows. Now there is a scratch there that's about 2 inches long, not too bad. And let me see, sorry, there's a bit of a slight scuff there, again not too bad. As I say, we've tried our best to keep the price down, so if you wanted those doing, we could get them done, and we'd get them done at cost, but it's entirely up to you. Electric boot release, reasonable size boot there. Split folding rear seats, 60-40 split, fold independently of each other. Got a rear load cover here. Got rear reversing sensors in the bumper there. A wash wipe, and you've also got this kind of integrated roof tailgate spoiler. Get my feet on the mats there. Nice and clean here in the back. 3 rear seat belts. The Isofix child seat anchor points in the back here. We seem to be a headrest missing at the back. We'll try and get one of those just to replace it, but very, very nice. And the price we're asking, it's great value for money when you consider what you're getting. One of the advantages with this car is it's also got wind-up windows. And you're probably asking yourself, well, what advantages are that? 2 things. One, they don't go wrong because the back windows tend to never get used. Motors end up seizing up. You put a new motor in it, it costs you 350 quid for it not to get used and seized up again in another couple of years. And the other advantage is that when you're making a video and you've been in the job for 50 years and you get in the back of the car and you forget to check it's got child locks on, which I always do, you can wind the window down, and not have to worry about the ignition being switched on and then let yourself out without appearing too much of an idiot. Now I've extricated myself from the back of the car, I'll just take you for a ride in it. Proper Ford key there. And we have height and reach adjustable steering wheel. It's very, very nice in the front. I'll just show you the service history. 11th of the 9th 2013 at 15,854 Evans Holshaw. 23rd of the 5th 2014 29,346 Evans Holshaw. 29th of the 1st 2015 40,174 Evans Holshaw. 27th of the 7th 2015 48,964 Evans Holshaw. 30th of the 8th 2016 55,059 Evans Holshaw. 31st of the 7th 2017 at 67,982 Evans Holshaw. 11th of the 10th 2018 83,653 miles Evans Holshaw. Then 26th of the 10th 2019 at 94,438 Evans Holshaw. And let's just see what it's done now. 94,597. So I'll just take you for a ride in it. Of course, I think it's one time or another, everybody's had at least one Fiesta. We've got heated front screen, heated rear screen, and it's also got air conditioning here. And there's the fan. We'll just turn that down, put that on the screen, and my feet. Cup holders here. It's just there's a van coming here, but we'll just check that while we're waiting for him. So that's that. Yep, both door mirrors work. So we've just put a clutch in. So it's just been serviced. Just had a new clutch put in. Things like that kind of make a mockery of the new Auto Trader price banners. There's a service and a clutch, probably 700 quid's worth of work done. At the moment we've got a great price banner on it, but that should be very, very, very low. This could be advertised next to another car that's not had a new clutch, is ready for a new clutch, is ready for a service, and as I say, we can be at the same price, have the same price banner, but that car needs a load of work and ours shouldn't. So not a big fan of the Auto Trader price banners. Big fan of Auto Trader, not the price banners. They're absolutely stupid idea. You cannot compare cars with an algorithm, because an algorithm hasn't been in the trade for 50 years. That's just my personal opinion. This car drives lovely. That's not a rattle from the car, that's my coffee cup. If it keeps rattling, I'll try and put it somewhere else. Good heater. Never going to break any records 0 to 60, but certainly for economy, it's pretty much second to none. 78 miles to the gallon. I suppose the worst that you should be getting is the government figures. You never get them. or the advertised figures, they're always under ideal conditions, and certainly in England we never get ideal conditions. Why would you do that? Why? That's like not mirror signal manoeuvre, it's a manoeuvre signal. So he's got a Fiesta, so he can't be all that bad. Got to work the gears really for acceleration. Need to turn that heater down, it's warm. Take up the motorway. There's a little on the left hand side of the instrument cluster, you've got your rev counter. In the centre, your information display. Underneath that, your fuel gauge information display. It's telling me the outside temperature at the moment, which is 8 degrees. How many miles it's done. And if I press the end in there of the indicator stalk, it's the trip counter. It's also coolant temperature underneath. Now that's saying average miles per gallon, but I'm assuming it's instantaneous, and also average speed. But we've been sat there with the engine ticking over while I photographed it, so that's not really going to make a whole lot of difference. We've got Bluetooth hands-free, Bluetooth audio streaming. Young lady with a child in the car there in a big hurry. Yeah, I thought as much. Wrong lane. I don't know. So Bluetooth hands-free. Hey Siri, play You Don't Know Me. Change that to auxiliary. So that's my phone playing through the Bluetooth audio system. Good sound system. And especially if you're going to buy this as perhaps a first car for somebody, it's always ideal that A, they've got audio streaming, and B, they've got Bluetooth. You see so many people driving in traffic jams these days. I saw somebody come through the lights the other day, and they were turning a corner coming through traffic lights. They came through on red and they were looking down at the lap on the phone. So best keeping temptation out of the way. Nice powerful low-end torquey engine. Just get it to 75 or 75. Officer, I meant 70. Right, so we're coming up to 70, 2,500 revs. It's a 5-speed gearbox with no vibrations through the steering wheel. Nice and quiet. Just get past this lorry. The heater is phenomenal. Engine doesn't feel like it's doing any work really. We've got the reversing sensors at the back, electric windows in the front. Let's see what else we got. So down here you've got, you've got power socket. Next to that, USB and auxiliary in, which you can play from line in on the radio. It's split folding rear seats. Got a rear load cover, quite a big boot for the size of the car. It really doesn't. These little Fiestas, the 1 litres are kind of a little bit buzzy, especially the kind of 3-cylinder ones. This, you feel like you've got plenty of weight. It feels like a bigger car. You've got plenty of weight with the diesel engine over the front wheels. Great for icy weather and snow. Will still keep pulling. All the weight over the front wheels. They're almost as good as a 4-wheel drive. It's a very nice car, and to be honest, if it wasn't for the couple of paint scuffs, I think this would be a £4,000 car at least, and perhaps even more with the service history. Forget the price banners. I'm afraid it's a gimmick. Not a good one. Here's the place where somebody always tries to commit suicide in front of me in a car. So be careful. Nobody seems to know which lane they're getting in. Like. Setting off in second there. They do handle well, these Fiestas. I forgot to put when the MOT is. I'll try and cut it in right at the beginning along with the service history. But this is very, very good value for money. Just give it some gas round here. Over the bumps and bends. Yep, no cracks or knocks there from the suspension. Brakes in a straight line, no problems there. So one thing about main dealers and mechanics who work there, usually they're on bonus. And to make bonus, they have to sell more hours than they actually work, which means they have to do jobs faster than the recommended time. So they're always looking for things that they can do without even thinking, brakes and so on. It's, when I started in the motor trade, Vauxhall Cavaliers used to come with no alarm, and to fit the alarm you were allowed 2 hours. And by the time I'd finished doing them, I could do them in less than 30 minutes. So that's kind of how the mechanics make the money, especially if you take it to an independent. They're not usually like that. They get a wage and they do a thorough job, which is, in all honesty, why I prefer our cars being done by an independent garage as opposed to a main dealer. These days, probably get a lot of grief for this in the comments, but main dealers, they just don't seem to know what they're doing. It's kind of organised chaos, and I've worked for plenty myself in the past, and it's you're far better off with either a one-man band or a little garage, somebody you can actually speak to. We went to BMW the other week, and I had to speak to a young lady on reception, and I tell her, and it's like Chinese whispers, I tell her what's wrong with the car, and I know that the mechanic needs to know that stuff, and then exactly the way I've told it. And she writes some notes down. May as well not bothered. Anyway, I'll finish the test drive here, and I'll just show you how to pair your mobile to the Bluetooth audio system in this vehicle, how to delete a mobile, and how to stream audio.